Speaking of Ben, Lou tied him for wins, for career wins.
Now tied with Ben for career Goonie Toons wins. Yes, that is true.
That's a big
think
moment.
that makes him. There were some discrepancies, but I think he's second all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toon Talk, your number one beer league podcast in Flint, Michigan, brought to you by the Gooney Toons. Today's hosts, Garrett, Tim, Tyler, and Connor. Take it away, boys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Toon Talk, your number one beer league podcast for Flint, Michigan. This is episode 35. Tim,
Jimmy Howard, baby.
There he is. There he is. Also, Ken Holland. I don't know if you knew that or not. When he played
No,
for the
that's a
Wings.
fun
Tony
fact.
Esposito too.
Yeah, Tony Esposito. There you go, Ty. Ty, did you look at the same list I looked at? Did you look up?
Could possibly, yeah.
Yeah. I figured I might as well start leaning into this shit since it doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon. So I'm gonna just lean into it.
Exactly.
Join
Just wait till we get to the hundreds.
Yeah, that I was thinking about that. I was like, what are we gonna do after we get past 99? Like, what do we?
Start naming off Dalmatians.
Oh yeah, okay. It was only 101 of those, so it's only gonna last us 2 more episodes. But yeah, we obviously the three of us are here tonight. No Garrett, and it does not sound like he'll be joining us. Seemed like he was pretty busy with, I don't know, what did he say? Finals.
I heard he got in trouble
did he?
for staying out too late on Sunday.
Ooh, we told him not to stay for that extra beer. We tried
no,
to tell him,
didn't
but
say
he
that.
wouldn't listen.
He got the little pee-pee whack at home, so
That's gonna happen.
he's got a little Toon Talk suspension from the old wifey.
I wouldn't be surprised
Ooh.
if he starts blaming Greg for that kind of shit, because it seems like those two are in cahoots and they're just kind of bouncing off one another saying, oh, I got to go pick up Greg. That's why I got to leave 2.5 hours early for the game. Oh, we couldn't come home late. Greg wanted another beer. So Greg, don't let Garrett pin that shit on you.
I tell you what,
Straight.
speaking of super fan Greg, thanks for his service.
Thanks, Greg. We do.
Thank you, Greg.
We really do appreciate it. Boys, how you feeling after the second week? Both teams split again. We B team lost, C team won, so both teams 1-1. Still searching for that ever elusive 2-0 week, but
Yeah.
I
You
feel
just feeling
that's
up?
coming.
Tim, how you had a little Goonie Tunes special there towards the end of the game on Sunday.
The
Little
old Gooney Toon
groin.
special struck in game 2 of the season.
Yeah, it's always fun. How you feeling?
It's getting better. It's getting better. It's still a little struggle getting dressed, but
Are you gonna
We'll
be
be
good
all
to
right.
go? Are you gonna be good to go for Sunday?
I'll be good to go for Sunday.
Do you think maybe you should just like take a week or two off? You think that might be like best just to make sure that everything's okay?
I don't think so. Craig and we got to get 30 points this season. I
Oh,
can't get points if
well,
I'm not on the ice.
I'm gonna say one of the two of you is actually contributing. The other one, not so
Yeah.
much.
Well, that's a perfect segue for me to. I will
Oh,
be right back.
what is?
What is it?
Wait, he just left the call.
All right.
God damn it, Tim! Now I got to make another overlay graphic because there's only 2 of us now.
Fucking
Oh my
Tim.
god!
Fucking Tim.
You know what? I might not let him back onto the show because
That'd be hilarious.
His ass made us like 10 minutes late for recording because he was doing something, and then we're 5 minutes into the show and he's already. This is.
He's in timeout. Toon Talk timeout.
This is fucking horseshit, dude. Thank God Ty came on this year to help host. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here by myself.
That's true.
My two co-hosts on. Oh, here he is. Here he comes.
Oh,
All right,
shit.
here we go. What? All right, what's he gonna do? I saw I let him in. Oh, here he comes. Oh, this should be fun.
Oh, the
Oh,
struggle
he's riding the
bus.
struggle bus. Oh,
Tim, you do
great.
know you can do that while you're still in the call, right? You don't
No,
have to log out.
he didn't. No, he
I
didn't.
did
know.
not.
He did not know that. He did
But
not know that.
here's my thinking. I know we're gonna get into the game and whatnot. Putting up the struggle bus background worked for me last year. Got me on a nice little streak.
I was gonna say we're 2 games in and you're already putting up the struggle bus graphic. You must.
We're
not a good
getting
look.
ahead of this early.
Ah, boy, Tim.
Hey, do you remember what followed the struggle bus, Tim? The do-rag.
Yeah, we don't need a repeat of
We're not
that.
going to cross that bridge this year.
We
Yeah,
don't.
so we
we
better
don't,
not cross that bridge.
We don't need a repeat of that. But yeah. So here's the scores from Sunday. It was a tough one for the B team. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
They just not really gelling, not really clicking, little disjointed, no real flow, kind of like, I don't know, sloppy. A lot of guys just trying to skate with the puck and do it all themselves. So I think it's going to take a little while. I was hoping this team would gel quickly, but it is what it is. Couple new faces, couple guys are moving around positions a little bit. So if it takes a couple weeks, not the end of the world. I'm sure we'll get it. I'm not too worried.
Yeah. No, I mean, neither.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right, Tim?
That's right. And kind of looking at the score sheet, Connor, I think you're taking a page out of my book. 3 secondary assists.
Tim, they don't ask how, they ask how many, brother.
That's right.
And I will say, I mean, I think 2 of those secondary assists were like long ass stretch passes through the middle. So, got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I mean, a lot of points on the board.
A lot of
for
points.
a lot of different guys. I think I was looking at the stat sheet. So we had 7 forwards on Sunday night. 6 of the 7 forwards got a point. Would anyone like to venture who the 7th forward was?
Who could it be?
Unfortunately, didn't get a point. And also, I think that 7th forward picked himself on the Gooney streak. So not to spoil anything for later on in the show, but
I don't like that tease.
That is
I
a
don't
double,
like that tease.
That's a double whammy right there. But yeah, no, I mean the C League game was great. I mean, we fell behind early, took a little bit to get going, but once we got going, we popped a couple in. The floodgates just kind of opened. It was real nice. Shout out Lou. Real nice having Lou there. He
very solid.
Kept us in the game when it was close. I think it was 3-2, and Grappin got burned. The guy went between his legs, and it was like a breakaway on Lou, and Lou made a huge save to keep it at 3-2. And then I think we scored on the next shift to make it 4-2, and the game was just kind of over at that point. So without that save, I mean, who knows where that game goes if it ends up getting tied 3-3. That completely changes the momentum of the game. So yeah, it was real nice having Lou. I mean, even though he's not here, the birthday boy called his shot.
He did.
Goal and an assist.
Yep.
Good for him. I mean,
he played well. I got to give it to him.
He was on fire.
He called it. He played well.
He was. You could tell on the first shift he was buzzing.
Oh yeah.
He had a little. He had a little extra. A zip going to it that you don't normally see out of Garrett. So
I'm kind of surprised he didn't get the Gooney Toons special with that little extra effort that he was showing.
I tell you what, you ever watch him? He doesn't do really any skating, any shooting, any stick handling in warmups. Literally all he does is stretch. So he just sits by the bench and stretches every leg and groin muscle that he's got. So, and it seemed to have worked. No problem since he started doing it. And I mean, 2 goals this week. So no complaints here. Trying to think who else. I mean, Craig got on the score sheet. Real nice give and go between him and Embry to score a second goal to put us up 2-1. But Craig had an all-time beef in the corner.
Hate to see it.
It was no one within like 10 feet of him, all by himself, like going in the corner to get the puck and just caught an edge and just slammed hard into the boards.
We've seen it from Foom Patty before, but
it was rough.
Hey, but we will say this. Craigie, you were cooking, my friend. You were looking really good until you hit that wobble. Then the things went off the rails.
I watched all the, I kind of, fast forward or whatever through the games, try to find all the goals so I can make sure I get everybody that got an assist or whatever and get the stats. Craig played an excellent game. If it wasn't Garrett's birthday, Craig was a strong candidate for the game change. He made smart plays in the offensive zone, couple nice passes, obviously the nice give and go between him and Embry. And I'll tell you the biggest thing that I've noticed between this year and the end of last year is when he gets to the puck on the board to break it out, he's taken like an extra second and looking and making a pass. I told Garrett after the game, our breakouts on Sunday were spectacular. We were actually like getting the puck to a center through the middle or looking cross ice for the other winger. And when neither of those options were open, we were chipping the puck out and just getting it out when we had to. We did a really good job of breaking it out. So, I mean,
yeah, I tell you what, he keeps playing like that. He's going to get his own Craig cam.
We might need to get a Craig cam. I would love that.
That would be amazing.
All right, you guys. What else you guys got about the games? Ty, anything more about B? What we kind of jumped over that. I know we're not trying to dwell on a 4-0 loss too much, but do you have any thoughts about the B boys?
We were just slow, sluggish, and honestly, we kind of played stupid hockey. I mean, there's no other way to really cut it. I mean, everything about that was wrong. We didn't really click at all. It was everybody, like you said, everybody trying to do it by themselves. Definitely did not use the points nearly enough. They were pinching hard on the forwards, and everybody tried to turn and shoot back versus trying to put the puck back, and not enough passes, not enough shots, and
quite honestly,
out of it. So
I don't think he had Diener involved enough.
The amount Diener was involved. The amount Diener was involved was the perfect amount for Diener to be involved. Let's just say that. Yeah, he was struck. You can tell that was the first time he skated in a couple months. He was on the struggle bus for most of that game. There's a reason he got the plug bucket. I mean,
yeah, he was a shoe-in for that plug bucket.
Yeah, I would have thought he just got back from a cruise and had some sea legs, but
yeah, it kind of. I told him it looked like I looked when I was in like 7th grade and I grew like 3 or 4 inches over the span of like 8 months, and I just could not figure out how to stand up and like walk. That's kind of what Diener looked like out of the ice. It was Bambi is the perfect word to describe it.
Yeah.
Tim, what else you got about the Squatch game?
I think they're going to be a better team than what they showed.
I would agree.
They had some decent players, but we played really well all around.
All right, let me ask you guys this. I know this is an unbiased panel here, so just put your unbiased hats on. Better cheering section, Squatch or Gooney Toons?
See, it's hard to tell. Squash, their cheering section couldn't get into it.
It was hard for 1 point for the Gooney Toons. They cheered no matter what was happening.
That is true.
It could have been a shot on goal. Also, I will say the greatest chant of all time is the Lou chant.
Yeah.
Even the refs were like, "Are they chanting? Are they chanting Lou?" And Lou just kind of like shook it, like nodded his head and laughed. Like, yeah, I think they're chanting Lou.
Yeah,
dude, that's awesome. Which also shout out when the ref is a subscriber of the podcast. Just the night's gonna be a good night.
That's true.
So shout out. I don't remember his name. I'm so bad. I'm so bad with names.
Well, guess who's losing a subscriber this week?
Shout out subscriber number 67.
Yeah. Shout out ref subscriber. If you see me at the rink, I'll buy you a beer for forgetting your name.
I will say with them bringing their cheering section though, I hope that's our family night.
That would be a good family night.
Because they will pack the place as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I say, going back to that, who had the better cheering section? Our cheering section, by far, bar none, is better than theirs when the frat boys show up. However, they don't show up every week, where Squatch does. So
that's true.
I don't know.
It's definitely quantity over quality for Squatch. But when the Gooney Tunes, when the Pike brothers show up, they mean business. I will say they kind of only had the 2 chants. They had the Lou chant and they had the whoa, and then that was pretty much it. Which at the end of the day isn't the worst combination in the world, but we'd like if they had some like actual chants, cheers, that kind of thing. So a little homework for all you Pike boys. If you come again, and we know you guys are listening.
Next chapter,
come with something prepared. Yeah.
Hey, screenshot this. You have all the jersey numbers in the names. So
yeah. Also, posters wouldn't be they would be appreciated. So, make some posters. Number 2 on the ice, but number 1 in our hearts. Like that'd be a pretty cool little poster. I'm not, just an idea. I'm trying to think what else I got. What else you guys got? Anything about either of these games?
Nothing about the games. We sang happy birthday to Garrett in the locker room.
Like 3 times. You got it in the locker room, in the bar after. I mean, only Garrett, because he brought it up on the podcast. It's my birthday. Nobody else has ever even remotely. Also, Garrett's also on the hot seat. No cupcakes.
That is true.
What
We
do
did
we-
ask for
what do we
cupcakes.
He did give you a soft maybe.
No, but then we talked about
That's
it.
true.
And we
Yeah,
said it
that's
could be
true.
a fun
That's true.
bonding experience for Kelly and Leo. And he said, I think it'll happen. And then nothing. So
And
Garrett, hot seat. Bring cupcakes.
And I'm not saying I looked
Please.
to see if my birthday was on a game day this year,
But you did.
but I did.
Is it?
It is not.
Oh, thank God.
Jeez. Dodge that
no
bullet.
no more game day birthdays. I can't keep giving out pity picks in the Gooney streak. Poon Patty's gonna have a birthday on a game day, and I'm gonna pick Poon Patty in the Gooney streak. We're playing like Mercino or some shit.
What's John's birthday?
Oh
jeez.
He won't be there for that.
Yeah, it's true. My over under on Hagen games made is in jeopardy already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. All right, so nothing else about the games. One thing we're gonna start doing, kind of this week, but mostly next week, it's gonna be a new segment called the Gooney Grades, where we're gonna be picking
Ooh, I
one
like
play.
that name.
Yeah,
I like that name.
yeah, I know you do. I wonder why. Because we're gonna pick one player from each team who we are going to focus on their specific play for that week, and we're each going to give them a letter grade on the following show, and then we'll just kind of keep track throughout the season how everybody does. So it'll be like a report card throughout the season.
So they're gonna know going into the game that they're being watched.
If they are if they're a subscriber and they watch on the weekly basis, they will know going into that week that they are on high alert. So our two players this week from the B team, we got Bobby Temple, and on the C League team, we got Brendan Embry. So Bobby and Embry, you guys are getting graded next week. So don't try to do anything out of the ordinary. Don't try to be a superhero. Play your game, and you will be graded accordingly. But obviously play well. I mean, scoring goals and doing all the small stuff right wouldn't hurt.
Nope.
That is true.
What you guys think they're going to be all right next week? Tim, how hard of a grader are you going to be?
Well, I tell you what, Embry got pretty unlucky with us not starting the segment last week because he played pretty well.
He had a good
last
game.
Sunday. Yeah.
Bar is set high.
Goal and 2 assists.
Yep. But I mean, two very, very good hockey players, so I think we got to be hard on them.
Are you going to grade differently based on who it is? Let's say, are you going to grade John and Tyler differently?
There might be a little bit of a curve.
Oh, Timmy curves. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, that's good to know. All right. I think I'm just going to try and be as impartial as possible. I'm going to have, it's going to be just a flat grading scale.
Ooh.
You play good, you get a good
Cold-blooded.
grade. You play it is, it's the most fair way to do it. I can't give
You're going with the pass fail model.
Pass fail, baby. You play good, you pass. You don't play good, you
respect
fail.
that.
And let me tell you something. Playing good in my eyes is not an easy task. You can ask anybody that's ever played on the team.
Pass the puck to Connor. Pass the puck to Connor.
Yeah, it's true. I say it's not easy, but it really is quite simple. It really, really is.
Connor's got 5 guys on him. Pass the puck to Connor.
That wouldn't be the first time.
No.
Oh shit. Well, because so Garrett, obviously, as we mentioned, won the game chain, and Crash and Craig won the Gong Glove this week. And so we had another duo interview this week for his first time. It was by Fuckley. So take it away.
Make it a season debut.
Season
Congrats,
debut in
Fuckley.
week 2. In week 2, yeah, congrats, Fuckley. But yeah, take it away, Fuckley.
All right, Fuckley here with his first interview of the season. Toons got their first win. We'll go to Goonie Glove first. Craig, you took a dump in the corner, and I don't mean that you fell. Thoughts?
I forgot to wipe, tripped over the toilet paper.
It happens to us. Birthday boy over here. Doesn't look a day over 47. Called his shots. Thoughts on your game?
Well, I just got to give it 100% to the boys. Boys did great, definitely 110% all the time. And, I think less than 110% is just not 110%. So, got to give 110% every time.
Craig, your thoughts on the Las Vegas Aces winning the WNBA championship?
Yes.
All right, Fuckley out.
All right. So that was Fuckley. Kind of just what we've come to expect from him at this point. Not good, not great.
Yeah.
No.
Just average.
Yep.
Yeah.
C. We
Yeah.
give him a C.
I'd give him
Yeah.
a C. I'd give him a C for that. I'll tell you what, one thing I've noticed, especially this year, but kind of towards the end of last year, it seems like the guys doing the interviews are more nervous than the guys being interviewed most of the time. And I'm not exactly sure why that is.
That's quite an interesting trend. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. So hopefully they, as the season goes on, they get a little bit more comfortable. But all right, so we have a returning segment coming up. This was requested by multiple listeners. It's what's your excuse? So here are the guys that missed from both teams. Obviously the first one on the top left is Jake Young, because I don't have a picture of him. But Ty, you know this. He's hurt or foot.
He's on the injured reserve list. Apparently he hurt his vag at the job site one day, and the doctor told him he can't come back until he gets it a nice rub down from Johnny Hockey, and he hasn't seen him in 4 weeks. So I don't know.
Ooh, that's a long stretch.
I know.
I know.
Those two cannot be okay right now.
You can tell Johnny's game is suffering a little bit.
You can definitely tell.
When Jake's not there, Johnny, he's not his full self.
And he's having an identity crisis right now. He left last season, a nice, cute little white boy, and now I don't know what to even say about him anymore. But
yeah, it's tough to see. So hopefully Jake can come back for everybody's sake, for John's sake, for the B team's sake. We need you back, Jake, as soon as possible. Bice has a slip disc, I think.
Oof.
He got a cortisone shot about 2 months ago, and I actually just saw him Tuesday at golf and actually played with him. Says he's feeling a little better and he's going to be at the game this week. Doesn't know how much he's going to be able to play. He's going to give it his all, but he said if he's playing defense, just kind of work him into the rotation, and he might take a shift, and it might be a 10-second shift. He has no idea. So we'll see. He's supposed to be getting another cortisone shot next Tuesday. So he said that he's hoping that'll be better, but he's kind of thinking he might have to do something a little more serious about it. So best of luck to Bice. We miss you. And hopefully he's feeling better and he can get out with the boys. He's definitely missed more at the bar than he is on the ice, I will say. Nothing against Mike, but
yeah, well, he would have been in it on game 1 of the season.
Yeah,
at the bar.
That's true.
So
yeah, that's true. John, we're not sure. He's hoping to make it within the next couple weeks, I think. Tom, we had a 9:45 start, so that's like an hour and a half past his bedtime.
Hey, they don't call him sleeping beauty for nothing.
Yeah. Yep. So Tom, obviously any game that's like after 8 o'clock is probably a no-show because of his bedtime. Reader is still in Iceland, or actually I think he's in Sweden now.
Yep, he is. He went to that hockey game.
Yeah, he went to a Swedish elite game or some shit. He's talking about there was fireworks and pyrotechnics and all sorts of crazy shit. So I guess they do it all the way up in Swedish hockey. So, but he should be back for this coming up weeks of games. So he's supposed to be back. Who knows if he's going to be jet lagged? I know he hasn't skated in like a month and a half, so that'll be interesting. But it'll be good to have Joe back for both teams, I think.
He's been missed.
Yeah, definitely. And then Eric. Oh, Eric was in North Carolina for the weekend. They went to see his nephew play football, who got a concussion the week before, so he couldn't even play. And then they were going to go to the Notre Dame, North Carolina game, but the tickets were too expensive. So he basically went to North Carolina for nothing. So shout out, Eric. So yeah, that's everybody's. What how you guys feel about some of these excuses? The injuries, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, I think their Reader obviously gets the pass. I mean, I don't know.
Does he get a 2 week? 2 weeks is a long time to miss.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. I mean, this was planned well in advance. So
way in advance.
Yeah.
Also, it's like we're talking about. I'd rather have him miss the first 2 games than the last 2 games.
Definitely true on that.
So, Tom,
we'll see how he plays Sunday. If Reader comes back playing well,
I think you're gonna have to give Reader a couple weeks. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he doesn't. No offense to Joe, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who can take a month and a half off and then come back and be rip roaring and ready to go. But we'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I would love for him to prove me wrong.
I'm sure he's been running a couple miles every day in Iceland and
Sweden.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he definitely seems like the kind of guy that runs on vacation. What? What? There isn't a guy on the Gooney Tunes that would go running on vacation. Are you kidding me?
That's a valid point.
Are you insane?
Beer
Eric-
runs.
Yeah, except for
Definitely
beer
lots
runs.
of those.
True. Very, very true. But yeah, hopefully it sounds like we're gonna have a pretty much a full roster for both teams this next week.
I hope so.
It's always nice to have, especially this early on in the season. It's nice having more than enough fresh legs on the bench.
Yeah.
So. All right, boys. Next up, we've got around the league. So the 2 leagues, the teams have been finalized. Yeah, a lot of stuff on the screen right now. Little information overload. But basically, it's just so far we got the standings for the B League and the C League. Not too exciting. There's only been 2 games, so nothing crazy. But then we had the results from this past week, as well as the schedule for next week. So I guess we'll do this. Ty, who is your team to beat right now in the B League?
Ooh. Right now, based on the way the first 2 weeks went, I would probably say Dependable. They were pretty solid all the way around. Overall, fairly good guys. 1 or 2 of them were a little bit chippy, to say the least, but that you're going to find that on every team. But they moved the puck well, stretched the ice out, got us running around, and just kind of picked us apart slowly but surely. So I'd say they're probably the team to beat so far.
I'd have to agree with you. I think Johnson and Wood's going to be solid. They always are.
Yeah.
And Misfits, I think Misfits are a wild card.
I can't tell based on the first 2 weeks. It's they did not perform up to the expectations I had in mind for them. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back.
Yeah, but they also seem like the kind of team that doesn't start taking the league seriously until like the second half of the season. So
yeah,
we'll see. Tim, lot of new faces in the C League.
Yeah,
I think only 2 teams besides us are returning from last year, CNS and Mercino. The other 5 are new teams to the league. We haven't really seen too many of them play, but I mean, you got to look at that Grand Blanc Surgical goal differential and say, I mean,
that's the first thing that jumps out at me.
I mean, I think they're going to be dangerous. I will say I was looking at, not to bore you guys with stats, I was looking at some of the results from a couple weeks ago. So B&M, who obviously you can see is in the C League, beat the Ugly Pucklings, who are a D League team, 5-4. And Mallards lost to Barry Tax Service, who is a D team, 3-4 the first week of the season. So yeah, we'll see how those two teams work out. I'm interested to see if they can hack it in the C League. So I don't know how they did the leagues up, but hopefully they were just missing some guys or whatever. But if that's going to be the case, I don't know if they're going to be able to compete with the top end teams I think we're going to be all right. I think us, Mercino, and I think probably Grand Blanc Surgical, if they are as good as their first 2 weeks indicate, I think are probably going to be the three top teams. Squatch, like we talked about earlier, definitely has a chance to make some improvements, which I think they will. A lot of young players on that team, so they could be kind of a dark horse.
They didn't play bad.
No, and I tell you what, so their game against us, and they played Grand Blanc Surgical the first week, and they lost 8-2. They definitely, both those games were closer than the scores indicated. I mean, if you look at our game, it was 2-1 going into the third period.
Yeah.
So that's, 5 goals from us in the third period is kind of, and I think 2 goals in the last minute of the game. So if you really think about it, that game's probably only a 5-2 game at the worst, with a couple of kind of garbage time goals. But so I think give them a month or so, and I think they'll definitely be some solid competition.
Yeah. And we know Mercino is good. They're going to be solid all year.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. We talked about them a decent amount next week. I have no idea about Village Tees. Absolutely no idea. They only had 1 game on their record, so I don't know what their deal is.
Interesting.
They beat where are they? They beat Mallards. They beat Mallards 4-1 last week. Yep, yeah, it's right on there. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the ref that we had, the subscriber, shout out again, nameless ref
subscriber number 67.
Yep. I think he said he's playing for the Village Tees team.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He said he's on a C League team, the Village Tees. So that'll be fun. All right. Anything else from this? Any results? Any games coming up this week, you guys? I'm from the B League. I think Friendly and Johnson and Wood's going to be a solid game. Also, I don't know anything about the Center Road I team. I don't know if they were a team last year and it's just a new sponsor, but 2-0. Nothing to. They beat Friendly last week, so
yeah, 8-4 for goals for and against. They must have played a couple close games.
Yeah, they beat Dependable 5-3 the first week of the season.
Really interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, they could be another team that's going to be a little dangerous. I think we're going to have our work cut out for us in B League. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be straight.
I think so too.
I'm going to be straight with the boys. I hate to say it, but I think a couple of the guys just kind of a vibe I got in the room was that we were coming down from A League and we were going to be the cream of the crop in B, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Nope. I think there are some solid teams in B League. No one's going to be, we can't take any nights off. There aren't going to be any easy games for us. I think everybody's, we got to come every week ready to play if we're going to want to compete. Otherwise, we're going to kind of have a similar season to last year, to be honest.
Yeah, not going to agree with you more. They really showed on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, you excited for Mallards coming up?
I am.
It's been 3 years since we played Mallards.
It's been a while.
They used to be in I don't know what we call it was C League back then, but I guess it would be D League now, or because how they restructured it. But yeah, they were a staple in that league for a couple of years with us. I think didn't they play the year that Garrett ran the league, COVID? Didn't they have a team in the COVID league, if I'm not mistaken?
I can't remember, to be honest.
But yeah, it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see them. They're a bunch of good guys, so it'll be a fun one. And we have an early time slot. I say early, it's 8 o'clock.
I'm cool with 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock's not bad. Honestly, anything even like 8:45, I don't hate. 9:15 is like okay, but yeah, we got the 9:45 for the B League team, and that I hate that.
Yeah,
you guys kind of do get a little bit of a breather though.
Yeah, it's one of those breathers where like I don't think I'm gonna take my gear off because it's an 8 o'clock game and then a 9:45 game, so it's like 8.
That's a long time.
Well, it's like
take the top off.
So think about it. So if it's an 8 o'clock start for us, we get done at 8:50. So my gear would be off and I'd be out of the locker room at 9:15.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm walking from that locker room to our new locker room and putting my gear right back on. Right.
Good point.
So. I guess you could if you wanted to, but that just feels like it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'll loosen my skates up and walk over, have a couple.
That's probably what I'll do too.
Yeah. So it'll be all right.
I'll be at that game.
You're gonna hang around.
I am.
I appreciate that, Tim.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Tim, do you think our fourth co-host is going to stick around?
That game would get done.
Same time our game got done last week.
He stuck around for. I don't think he'll stay for the whole game. It was
his birthday.
It was his birthday, but I don't think he'll stay for the whole game. I think he'll stay for either the first and second period.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
I would appreciate that quite a bit.
Don't forget he's got 2 kids. He's in law school.
Works full time. How could I possibly forget that? That is.
Thank you for the reminder, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason he's not on the show tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, very excited, very pleased with both these leagues. Like all the teams in all of them, I don't really see any problems with any of these guys. So it'll be a good year. All right, boys. Next up, we have everyone's favorite new segment, mostly because it's our only new segment so far. It's Gooney Streak, and we are down to 2 crowns this week. Garrett and Tyler both picked Garrett after him guilting us using his birthday, which paid off. Can't complain.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
One host called their shot. The other host, on the other hand.
Yeah, Tim. Tim,
that's why the background is what it is.
Again, I don't want to harp on this, Tim, but we scored 7 goals and 6 out of the 7 forwards had a point. Yeah. We had
a rough look, man.
We had 11 guys skate. 8 of the 11 guys had a point. That
Hey,
almost it
you-
almost seems, honestly, Tim, it's almost more impressive that you didn't get a point based on those numbers.
it was Garrett's big day. It was his birthday. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to let him have his moment.
Really?
Oh,
Is that
that's
what it was?
respectful.
Is
Yeah.
that what it was? Is that why you were taking slap shots from the blue line every time you crossed you got into the offensive zone? I watched the highlight, Tim. I saw a couple of those.
Oh, my
Yeah.
personal favorite was calling off Phil. Hey, Phil, you're tired. Phil, you're tired. The last
Yeah,
minute.
with 30
seconds.
Dude, you got out there and I was like, I told Ty, it was like probably 4 minutes to go and we were up like 5-2 at this point. And Ty or Tim chipped the puck up to you, Ty, and you skated across the blue line and you took a wrister and it just barely went wide. But if it had been on net, it was 100% going in. And you got back to the bench and I was like, Ty, you motherfucker. Tim passes you the puck. I need you to dump that shit in. Do not let him get a point.
Well,
You
then
did say
30
that.
seconds left. Ian's on a breakaway. I was calling for it, but I was just too far behind him.
What do you mean you calling for it? You were at center ice, dude.
I was at the blue line.
No, I
was
watched
I
it.
kept yelling. I said, "I'm with you. I'm with you."
Yeah, drop pass it all the entire length of the ice for me, Ian. But all right, so like we established last week, the two winners are gonna go first. Ty, I have Garrett's pick, but just to eliminate any funny business, I'm gonna have you pick first. So
I like it.
who will you be selecting for this week in the Gooney streak?
I heard this morning on the news that Hurricane Ian is going to hit Florida. So I think Hurricane Ian's going to hit the ice on Sunday. So I'm going to go Ian Crampton in the B League.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got to take Ian because you already took him week 1 in the
Yep.
C League. So Ian B League is Ty's pick. Garrett's pick, he is putting Embry on double notice. Gooney grades and Gooney streak. Garrett is taking
wow.
Embry for his pick. I guess I go next. I have a current streak going. Here's my conundrum. So Ty, I'll ask you this. It's a 9:45 start for the B team. Is Johnny Hockey going to be there?
He hasn't told me no, but that is not also a yes.
What would you
I know
put
he
the-
works early on Monday.
What
I
would
would put
you-
it at 75% chance he's there.
Ooh, that's not as high as I was hoping you were going to say. Ooh, boy.
I know.
All right. I'm going to take the guy that is tied for the team lead in goals on the C team. I'm taking Philly Snipes.
Oh, you took my pick.
Give me
Ooh.
Phil. All right, did I really?
Yes, you did.
Well done, Connor.
Yeah.
Sweep it away from him.
Listen. Well, no, he can still take it. I
I
just didn't want to give Garrett's pick to you and then have you take the same pick. I mean, I don't think you would have done that, but just to keep it as fair as we can keep it, because then you could have played a little
Yeah.
bit of games where
I actually had a conversation with Garrett's pick, Dr. Locks, and he told me that Hurricane Ian and Ian in the same week, it has to happen. So
that feels like
I don't know.
destiny. So Tim, are you sticking with Phil?
So, I think I'm still going to stick with Phil. I don't think I can pick anybody on the B team yet because after last week or last Sunday, I don't think you guys are gelling yet.
I think so. I am confident we're going to bounce back. Also, we are playing podcast much. We are playing Family PT, who I think is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say like bad, but a little bit worse than dependable were last week. It's a late game. Who knows how many of their guys are going to show up. My only issue is I am very confident in Johnny to get a point
yeah,
if he's there. However, I can't make that contingent. We made the rule at the beginning of the year that once you pick your guy,
Right.
if he doesn't show up, you lose that week. So that's my only, if it were an earlier game, if it were like a 7:00 start, Johnny's
it'd be
my
a
pick.
no-brainer. Yeah,
But 9:45, don't love the 75% chance. So I'm
you know what?
sticking-
You talked
sticking
me
with the
into it.
safe
I'm taking
pick.
Johnny. I'm
You're
taking
taking John. Dude, I'm
Wow.
gonna be so
You
pissed
talked me
if
into it.
Johnny scores and Phil doesn't. I'm gonna be pissed.
And
Uh,
and like I said, nothing against Philly Snipes because I definitely want to take him on the first half of the season.
He's
But-
hot. He's hot the first half.
He is hot right now.
I tell you what, that was it. It was the first goal he scored where he just was on the doorstep and just roofed it on him, and I was like, "Holy shit, Phil's feeling
Yeah.
himself right now."
so those omega 3s.
yes,
help him
just all
out.
those omega 3s. I was gonna make that joke every week. Phil scores every
Hey,
single week.
I hope you make it every week then.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
too.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. All right, so I have Phil. Garrett has Embry. Tim's taking Johnny Hockey. Tyler has Ian on the B team. Are we going to see a 3 streak next week? Tim, what do you think?
I hate to say it, but Ian's playing pretty well.
Why would you hate
I
to
think-
say that? He's a Bud Bash bro. Bud Bash bros stick together, you asshole.
Well, I know, but then you get the 3 streak. I think you're gonna get it.
I will say that is a solid pick from Ty, because as bad as the B team looked on Sunday, the one line that I thought was probably our best line, we had, the different centers with the wingers or whatever. I thought Ian and Burkle were probably the best wing pair.
They're buzzing.
Yeah, we had a couple shifts with them where we had a decent amount of offensive zone pressure. We actually moved the puck decently well, had a couple good scoring opportunities. So I think if any line is gonna have a big night, it would be those two with whoever is their center. Kind of doesn't really matter to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I will also say, we didn't really touch on this, but from the C League game, both of our 5th and 6th goals were Phil scored, Embry assisted, Ian assisted on both goals. And in the locker room after the game, they were kind of talking, the 3 of them, like, hey, I kind of like this line. I liked our chemistry. I liked our synergy out there. Kind of felt, natural. So I don't know if the coach or the GM is going to maybe step in and make some early season adjustments. That would throw a wrench, though, because I think Ian and Embry were both going to be centers for the 2 of the lines.
If it's not broke,
Or-
don't fix it.
That's what I'm saying. But I think he's going to have to make a hard decision on who our 3rd center is going to be in the event that we got a full roster show up. If we only have 8 or 8 forwards or whatever, it's not going to be too much of an issue. But it's when you got to fill that 3rd center spot when you got 9 guys. So we'll see. That's a decision that's above my pay grade. Thankfully, all I do is tell what defenseman to play with who, and then Garrett doesn't listen and puts whatever he wants on the starting lineup. So
And I guess if we're still on the C Goonie Toons. As of right now, only John, Bice, and Jason Liu have not checked in.
So John, I'd imagine, is probably a no. Bice, I think, is going to be there, but I think his play time will be limited.
Yep.
So we're looking at probably 5 and 9, if I had to guess. He'd be like Bice would probably be a 6th defenseman, if everything goes that way. So that's going to be those are those games we're all just kind of squeezed in on the bench. So that'll be fun.
On the bright side, at least we get a little bit of a breather before we go into that B game later on in the night.
Yeah,
I definitely like it better the other way around.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, honestly, as long as there's a break in between, like this week was so much better than the first week.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really care how long the break is. Give me half an hour, give me an hour, give me 3 hours, whatever. Give me a break in between the games, and it's just like playing, one game whenever.
Yeah.
The back-to-back was brutal.
Definitely brutal.
All right. So a couple things here, kind of post-show, end of the show. The Kettering boys, the Pike boys, brought something to my attention that I had been thinking about, but wasn't sure how people would receive it. They asked about if there was a way that we could do call-ins for the show. Now, I will say doing call-ins, because we don't do these live, is probably not something we can do, because there would be no way to do that. However, I have set up a way for all of our wonderful listeners to leave voicemails for the show. So if you look in the description below, if you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description. Same with Apple, same with Spotify. There is a link to a SpeakPipe page. You just click that link. You record an up to 90-second message. You can leave your name if you want. Or you can leave it, make it anonymous, however you want to do it. And it will go to our page, and then I can listen to those. And if there are some good ones, we will play a couple on next week's show. So it can be a question, it can be a chirp, it can be literally anything you want. If you want to contribute to the show, that is how you can do it. So click that link, leave us a message. And yeah, I'm sure I'll get a lot of really, really fun messages that I'm going to be able to listen to. Really,
So this might even open up the awards to some of our listeners then.
Definitely.
I'm thinking of the mouth award.
Definitely. Yeah. If a
Oh,
listener,
that's true.
however, if you leave a chirp and you don't leave your name on it, there's no way I can give you that. We can give you that award.
Yeah,
that's
So
true.
if you're going to chirp one of us, I would expect you to leave your name and make it known that you're the one that's chirping us. Just like, we all chirp with our faces on this show. Don't hide behind anonymity. So we would expect all of our listeners to do the same. But yeah, if you've got questions, if you've got ideas, literally anything, give us shit to talk about. We will pick a couple every week if there's some good ones, and we'll play them and respond. So I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to sifting through all of the idiots that listen to this show and hearing what they have to say. That'll be a lot of fun. The other thing, we talked about this a little bit at the bar, but we haven't really talked about it publicly. We're planning on doing some live streams coming up for the NHL season. We did the live stream last year for the Happy Gilmore draft. That was a big success. We had, I think, like between 15 and 20 people watching us live and reacting and chat and all that stuff. That was a lot of fun. So we're going to try and do something like that. We'll be doing like watch parties for the NHL when they have, probably one night a week. We'll get a bunch of guys like kind of like this, but it'll be live. And we'll have different people coming in and out throughout the games. The first one we're going to do is going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be Wednesday, October 12th. That is the second night of the NHL regular season. We're definitely going to be watching the early slate of games, probably all those games. Obviously, when we do this, this goes without saying, but we can't put the games on the stream because we would get taken out for copyright reasons. So it'll just be our faces on the screen. You can watch along the games with us. It might be a little bit delay. It's not the end of the world. Just come, hang out, drink some beers, talk with us, talk and chat. But the early games, I think it's the Caps are playing the Bruins and the Leafs are playing Montreal. And then depending on how things go, we might stay for like the first period or something for the Colorado-Chicago game, which I think starts at 9 or 9:30. I think they're raising the Stanley Cup banner or something like that. So it might be cool to watch the first game of that. So we'll see. And if it goes well and we get a decent amount of people watching and interacting and chat and all that kind of stuff, we'll do more. But yeah, like we said, we're going to try some new stuff this year, just kind of see how it goes. So hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. What do you guys thoughts about either one of those?
No, I love that.
I dig it.
We'll have obviously more than just the four of us. We'll have people from the team, people from the bar coming in, coming out throughout the night, throughout the different weeks or whatever. So
Yeah,
it'll be a good time. It'll basically just be like us hanging out at the bar, watching hockey, probably not giving too much analysis because as anyone who's watched even a little bit of this podcast knows, we don't know that much about hockey.
I'll break down some plays if need be.
Yeah, you think so, Tim?
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, let me ask you a very simple hockey question. What's a neutral zone regroup?
Obviously, when you're in the neutral zone, you have to regroup.
Okay, no, what you
Go
just
on.
did is you just put what I said back at me. I want you to kind of like describe how it would work. What is the defenseman doing in a neutral zone regroup?
So the
Oh shit! We're losing his connection tie. That's
I
such
know.
a
neutral
lucky
zone neutral zone regroup.
Oh shit!
Oh, you're back. Go ahead
Yeah,
and restate that, Tim.
Tim, I'll be honest. We couldn't really understand what you were saying, but that sounded right. Based on the intermittent wording that we were getting, it sounded like you were saying a lot of hockey terms there. That sounded right. So good job. I am actually impressed with your analytical knowledge. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should Matucci watch out? Do we have a player coach coming out gunning for his job?
If anybody
Sometimes you
got to
lay down that button
listen,
and hit a field goal.
listen.
What?
We're not, that was his one
What?
joke. We give him one an episode. You're new at this. We give him one an episode. All right. It's in his contract. He gets to make one bad dad joke an episode. We just
Fair enough.
when he does it, we just kind of smile and nod and pretend like it was funny and let him have his little moment. And then we just kind of move on and kind of just ignore it, honestly.
Good to know. I'm taking that down in my notes now.
I don't think Matucci needs to worry about his job at all. I've actually promoted him to head coach of the C League team. If you're watching this, Brandon, congratulations. You're finding out now. he showed me a lot of. There was a moment in the bar, and I'm hoping he wasn't lying to me, but I broke my stick in our C League game, and I came to the bench, and he said in the bar after the game, he said, "My first thought when you broke your stick was, where's Connor's backup?" And he didn't know what my backup was, and that's okay. It's only the second game of the season.
Right.
It would be ridiculous for him to know who everybody's stick was. But the fact that that was his first instinct says a lot about the kind of coach I think he's going to be.
I was
That's
sitting
true.
right in front of him on the bench. I can confirm that.
I can as well.
So that right there tells me a lot about what kind of coach Tooch is going to be. So Tucci, I will say the reason you're being promoted is because our current head coach, Brian, has made it to a grand total of 3 games over the entirety of the Gooney Toons forever. This is our 5th season. He's been like 3 games. So if he shows up, like, just let him pretend he's the head coach. Tooch, it's not that big of a deal. But in his absence, you are the interim head coach. So congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations. But yeah, we don't need to go into the head coach for the B team.
Yeah.
I've already said
So
enough.
your
about
feelings
that.
are made clear.
He knows.
Yeah, and we also have another promotion, Connor.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, I was looking on the bench app, and it looks like superfan Greg got promoted to a stick boy.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Congrats. So
Ooh.
round of applause for
Yeah.
Greg. Attaboy Greg.
Congrats, Greg.
Yeah, that's big. Is he gonna do the sticks, do you think?
Who knows? This is where he has to step up.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Big moment.
Yep. I would love to see Matucci tell Greg to get the sticks before and after a game. That would make me very happy. That would make me very, very happy. Because that's an interesting interaction. That would be fun.
That would be.
But it's his job. I talked to Tavis about this. When you're the head coach, you got to delegate. You got to get your assistants to do what they're supposed to do. So
You got to
If you
show
have-
up, even to the late games.
if you've got exactly, Tim,
That
if
is
you want to
true.
if you want to be a coach, you can't be bailing early because you got to take people home. I mean,
That was a pretty bad excuse, Coach.
priorities.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Tell
know.
him to buy a bike.
Some guys
That's a
want
long bike ride.
some guys want to be there and some guys don't. And that's
Yeah.
all. And that's all I'll say about that.
And there was a new coach's post on Instagram this week too. So
Was there really?
there was.
It was.
Came
Wow.
out today.
Wow. Well, Tuesday came out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this weird little thing with podcasts where we don't record live. So when they listen to it and you say today,
Yeah,
they think you're
I'm
talking about
still
Thursday.
learning.
It's okay. We're only 35 episodes into this thing. We'll get it eventually. Well, probably not.
No, we'll never get it. But
Definitely.
it sounds
definitely
good.
not. Yeah. Anything else, boys? What else you got? Anything non-hockey related? Doesn't have to be about hockey.
No, I think we need to get a Toon review within the next few weeks.
ooh, interesting. What do you have in mind?
Nothing in mind, but I'm just saying, we'll figure something out.
For everyone watching. This is what Tim does for the show. By the way, he says, "Hey, I think we need to do this," and you say, "Oh yeah, Tim, what do you think we should do for it?" And he goes, "I don't know. I just brought it up."
Yeah.
He thinks that just bringing something up is like contributing
stirring
to
the
the show
pot.
at all. Yeah.
I just come up with segments.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you want?
I just come up with segments. That's exactly what we need. We just need to jam all the segments we can into this little show. I don't hate that. I think if we find something that we could review, I think kind of how we've
Yeah.
always done it. When we have something to review, it's a good segment to do. I don't think we need to like set a date or anything for it.
Yeah.
Also, I love doing this. I love talking about what we're going to do on the show, live on the show. That's a lot of little peek behind the
Yeah.
curtain for all the
Yeah.
listeners.
Tease.
It's called professionalism. All right.
Professionalism. Yeah. Yeah, we plan out what we're going to do on the show. I will say people might love this. I don't know.
Hey,
Little peek
if we want to
behind.
get Matucci behind the bar or behind the grill, cook us some sandwiches next Sunday.
We
I'll do
already
another
did,
review.
We already did that.
I'll do another one.
No,
If
you
I
just
remember
want,
right, didn't you get a cheeseburger, Tim? Did you
You
not
just-
even
you
get
just
a
want-
chicken sandwich?
No, he got a cheese on his chicken sandwich, if I remember correctly.
And
Yeah.
it was quite good.
So it's now it's starting to appear like you don't want to do a Toon review. You just want an excuse to have Matucci make you another chicken sandwich.
That's kind of what it sounds like now.
How
I
close
mean-
am I pretty close there, bud?
You're pretty close.
Yeah, that feels about right. I will say I think Reader texted me a suggestion for like a hockey related movie, kind of like that one we did, the rom-com hockey movie was
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
said it was a
Idol of
real-
the Crowds?
No, it was a really bad. It was one from like the last like 5 or 10 years. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to go through my text and see. We might. I don't know. Again, we're just talking about what we're gonna do on the show
Yeah.
show. I love this shit. All right, Tim. Any more segment ideas you want to throw out and then have me and Ty actually figure out?
No,
I
I'll
have
save
one.
it for next week.
Oh wait, Ty has one. Okay, go ahead, Ty.
I do. So tune in next week for an epic Goonie court battle
Oh yeah, that is a
Between-
great tease, Ty.
between
So-
Timmy No Groin and a few members of the Goonie Toons. I won't spoil who's on the prosecution team. Tune in.
Timmy No Groin versus the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people versus
the
Timmy
people,
No-
the people of
people
Skaters
versus-
Bar and Grill.
I will say, so the plan was obviously to do it tonight because it was kind of timely and pertinent, but our judge unfortunately was busy with law school, so we were unable to time it out right. So rather than kind of haphazardly mash it together, we're just going to wait till everybody's available.
Yeah.
And we'll do it, and you will have the second case of Goonie Court on next week's episode. So that, boys, that might be the best tease we've ever done.
That
if
is
that-
a
if-
top tier tease.
If that doesn't get people coming back next week, I honestly don't know what we could do. Because that Goonie Court, that I if you go back and look at the analytics, that Goonie Court episode is like one of our top 5 episodes.
Yep, that is definitely a TTT.
Also, I got to shout out my dad. He called me. He's up north bird hunting this week, so he called me tonight and he said, "Hey, you had Darren McCarty on your podcast?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, Harvey, who's Garrett's dad and his brother, said, yeah." He goes, "Harvey said you had Darren McCarty on your podcast to give out an award or something." I was like, "Well, I mean,
technically yes. Technically yes.
That's what I said.
That
I
is
said
true.
technically Darren McCarty was on our podcast, but we paid a cameo for him to like present an award." And he's like, "Oh, what was the award?" And I was like, "Biggest goon." We gave it to Reader for being the biggest goon. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, that checks out. Yeah, okay." He goes, "What episode was that?" I'll listen to it on my way home. I was like, "It's episode 29 or some shit. I don't know. It's one that's called Goonie Awards, Dad. I don't."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, it's funny. I like that." Yeah. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know how unreal."
Hey,
maybe
Mr. Joe
that'll-
Reader, I make turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that'll entice them to maybe want to do a guest award presentation.
We would love that. Love to have Booney. It would also be nice. I know we discussed this again. We're just airing out ideas for the podcast. We discussed having like a dad's interview segment where we have like a bunch of the Goonie dads on, and it's like not on, but maybe on, just like interview them, ask them questions. That could potentially be dangerous and a lot of fun. I think dangerous is more than likely the outcome for that.
That's the direction
I
would
will
lean.
pour the fuel on that fire.
Yeah, we know you would. You might have to, honestly. So if we had Booney, Harvey, and Dougie Fistbumps, and Tim was like the moderator / interviewer, I think that would be like an all-time episode. Especially if me, Garrett, and Tyler weren't on. If it was just the 3 of them and Tim got to absolutely
Jesus.
interview them, that comment below if you want to see
Yeah.
that.
Was that
You wanna
5
see-
minutes tops?
Yeah, I want to
One
see my
question each.
dad, Ty's dad, and Garrett's dad all interviewed by Tim, asking all the hard-hitting questions about their hockey careers, our hockey careers growing up. That would be. We could do it one at a time, Tim. You could do one-on-one, and we can make a whole video series out of it.
Ooh,
And we could start with the 3 of us and go all over the team. Oh,
Goonie Origins.
boys, we're cooking
Goonie
now.
Origins,
We're
yeah.
cooking
Goonie
now.
Origins.
Goonie, oh my, oh baby, oh baby. We should do this more often. We should just have the show and just talk about shit we could do on the show.
We should.
All right. Anything else, boys?
I think
This
that's it.
This may have been the most productive episode of Toon Talk ever.
I think so.
Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Garrett. Also, shout out Ben. When I was making the cold open for last week's episode, I could have cut it down and got rid of the part where I called Ben a dumb bitch for listening to this on Spotify, but I didn't because I thought it was way funnier the way it was. So not really apologies, but just shout out Ben for being a trooper and being like our only person that listens to this on Spotify.
Speaking of Ben, Lou tied him for wins, for
Lou
career
is
wins.
now tied with Ben for career Goonie Tunes wins. Yes, that is true.
That's a
I
big
think that
moment.
makes him. There were some discrepancies, but I think he's second all time. How many wins does Brett have?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't
Brett
know. Good
probably
question,
has
actually.
1, maybe 2.
I don't think he has 2. I'm pretty sure he has 1 for sure.
Yeah, because
Because
we
I
won
think
that
we
first
make-
playoff game they subbed last year. Didn't we?
No, we're not-
Or
we're
the
not.
not the consolation game. Or if we're not counting that, then no. But
no, because he didn't even play goalie for that.
I thought he did. I thought
No,
he
No,
played
Eric,
goalie.
Eric
He's-
played goalie.
He
That was the
skated out-
second one. That was the second
No.
one.
Garrett played goalie the first one. Brett skated out against
okay.
us. That's why we did it. No, I think so. I remember one guy, it was our second year, who subbed for us, just a random guy from the game before. We won that game, so he's got to win. We don't know his name. I don't remember who it was. Brett has a win. Ben has 1 win, and he's played 27 games.
That's not a good look, man.
1 in 26, Ben. Come on.
Well, because he was maybe 25 games, because he was 1 in 22 or 1 in 23 our first year. And then I think he subbed for us once or twice since, and he's unfortunately lost both those games. So I think he subbed for us like the second year when we were really good. It was like one of our 2 losses that year was with
Oh
Ben.
man.
I can't remember who we were playing. It might have been Purple Cobras maybe or something. And they had that one guy who just scored like 6 goals on him, just like went bar down like 4 times. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. So,
Well, Connor, if you're not going to hit somebody, I will.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ben. Okay. Yeah, we're losing 7-1. It wants me to clear out the front of the net. We haven't won a game all year. Haven't scored more than 3 goals. And yeah, I'm going to clear out the front of the net. Okay, Ben. Okay. All right,
Well,
boys.
That's
Sorry,
what
go
a JV catcher will get you.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I think that ends the episode right there.
This is Tim trying to stir the pot. And I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah.
let him do it. All right, boys. If that's it, we will obviously, as always. Yeah, there he goes.
Do you have a spoon? Is that a spoon in your hand?
It's a real-
Oh,
I don't know if that's better or worse than a spoon. I'll be honest. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
As always, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe to the page, if you are not subscribed, if you subscribe and you turn on notifications, you will be alerted when we go live in 2 weeks for the live streams. So, and I will try to post on Instagram and Twitter as well. If you follow those, that way you guys will get alerted when we go live. But if you are subscribed and you have notifications on, you'll know when we drop the new episodes and when we go live. So that'll be helpful for you. If that is it, boys, thank you to everybody for listening. We love everybody that listens, especially when they come up to us at the bar and say how much they love the podcast. That's so ridiculous and stupid, but thank you. We will talk to everybody next week. And as always, go Gooney Toons.
Thank you for tuning into Toons. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe to Gooney Tunes Hockey. And tune in next week for more Gooney Tunes content and hockey news.